Earlier today, the White House touted literally the USDA National Shell Egg Index report, which indicated that the price of eggs across the United States has dropped dramatically. The report actually indicated that the price of a dozen large white eggs, which is the most commonly purchased type of egg, has fallen to $3.45 from, in the end of January, a record high of $6.55. So almost a 50% reduction in the price of eggs. And of course, that is welcome news for breakfast and brunch lovers all across the country. And that's just one of the positive trends that we're seeing. And now here to serve up more about all of this is Dr. Dave Brat. He's a former member of Congress, a former colleague of mine when I was there. He now serves as a senior vice president of business relations at Liberty University. Dr. Brat, welcome back to Washington Watch.
Congressman Jody, great to be on, brother.
Always great to have you. Thanks for joining us. Good to have you. Happy St. Patrick's Day to you. All right, let's talk about the price of eggs. What a great break for Americans all across the country.
Yes, well, I'm a PhD in economics, very sophisticated, and so my deep analysis says the reason for that price reduction is Biden quit killing chickens. And that's serious.
Man, they didn't give you a PhD for nothing. I can tell you.
That's what I'm saying. That's what you get. And so, when the supply of chickens goes up, the price goes down like everything else. And so that's all good news. The bad news is the press, of course, will not report on that or anything, right? The press, no mainstream economist will report on the top three issues in the Trump Republican agenda, which is the border invasion, the endless wars, the $36 trillion in debt, and inflation. You've never seen a leading economist report the total cost of any of those three major things that cause Americans concern. And so that's the major cause of concern, right? The media is just out of control.
So let me ask you this. We're now just 50 days, give or take, into this new administration. We're already seeing the price of eggs cut in half. What else? What other positive trends are we seeing right now?
Well, you're seeing the main positive trend. It came out in just a side note from President Trump the other day. He said, I'm quoting in effect, but in effect, he said, I don't care about the stock market. I care about the economy. And that's a major miracle. And people will not understand the full force of what that means. But the economy is what's good for manufacturing and the middle class and the entrepreneurial spirit and the small business person. 10% of the rich own 90% of the stocks, right? And the Federal Reserve has been intimately involved in protecting the rich class for the past 40 years. And now the American people are catching on to this little trick. So the good news is he's shifting, and the tariff piece and the geopolitics with China, Russia, Mexico, Canada, tariffs. No one in the mainstream press wants to explain what's going on. But what's going on is he's trying to put capital back in the United States of America. And he got $100 billion from Taiwan in one sitting, right? One deal, and then many other deals with Mexico and China coming in. But he's getting factories, capital equipment, tools in the hands of American workers. And when you do that, the American workers are going to get richer. And then he's, trying to send back the illegals. And the Democrats are protecting the illegal drug dealers who are trying to export. We're not even at a mass deportation. We're just trying to get rid of the drug dealers. And the Democrats are funneling money through USAID, the Department of Education, everything. The latest news clips, right? So they're being embarrassed. They're at 30% polling, and that's what's going on.
So you brought up the tariffs, okay? There's a lot of back and forth right now with that. Unpack for us the pluses and the minuses of President Trump's tariff policies.
Yeah, well, if everyone were angels and everyone had low tariffs, very low tariffs, then, the classical economics says, hey, if you slap on tariffs, you're going to hurt your consumer a little bit. Prices might go up a little bit, et cetera. But that's not the case. If you look up the 22 richest countries, the G20, the rich European countries, the U.S. has the second lowest tariff out of those 20. And I mean by half. And so the fairness factor is we don't have free trade. We don't have free markets. We're being ripped off. And I'm not even talking about monopolies and oligarchs and all that. This is just tariffs from our friends, and they're tariffing the daylights out of us. And we have been paying the bill for the post-World War II liberal order, including the defense budget for the rest of the world, on top of being tariffed. So they're penalizing us for helping them. So Trump is the first guy since Reagan who said, this makes no sense.
A lot of great information there. So overall, we've got less than a minute left. What do you think about President Trump's approach to the economy so far? What kind of grade do you give him?
Well, I'm giving him a flat A because all I care about is the long run and the future of this country. And as Elon Musk, a Democrat, said 3 months before the election, if we lose this election, I'm afraid we lose the republic. Right? So when you got a Democrat saying that and switching parties because he's a freedom guy, right? He's a libertarian. He's a little confused on the Democrat Party and big government being a libertarian. But other than that, he's doing great work. And so that I give Trump an A. He's moving us in the right direction on the real economy. Skip the stock market for a little bit. We're going to put this country back in great shape again.
Dr. Dave Brat, Senior Vice President of Business Relations at Liberty University and a former colleague in Congress. Thank you so much for breaking down this economic news